Alright guys, it's Bo Spurlock, Hellhound Outdoors. Today's video is something that I think basically anybody that ever goes in the woods or ever camps, any of that type stuff, likes to carve even, could just throw in their car, in their backpack, or whatever. What I'm talking about is old timer carving jack. It's the 240T, as in Tango. See if y'all can see that. 240T carving jack. So I want to take you down to the table here in a second and we'll see what we can get into. Close, this thing's 4.34 inches, call it 4 3/8 closed. That's if everything's closed up. It's got 6 blades. Blades are made of 65 MV carbon steel. They're all coated with this black coating you can see here. The different blades you got is this one's a detail blade. I don't know, we'll call it 2 inches. 2.5 inches. It's just like a regular full flat. I'm not even going to comment on what I think that the actual grind is on it because it's kind of unique. But that's your detail blade. You've got a V-scorp here. You've got just a regular chisel blade here, if you can see that. Then on this side you've got a hook blade, a circle gouge, and this is a straight circle gouge. See, it's long, but it's rounded also, if you can see that. And then I'll come up to the camera here and I will show you all these in a better light. Try to do this here for you all. Makes it a little, I know it's a little difficult, but it's kind of hard. This is my first time trying to do a knife with multiple blades. Here's this one. You can see how it is. It's only sharpened on one side, but this is the V-scorp. It's a little bit long of a shaft there. This is your detail blade, sharpened on both sides. Here's your chisel blade. It's just flat, sharpened on one side. See how long it is. On this side you can see it's got the round gouge or circle gouge, whatever you want to call it, also sharpened on the outside edge there with the long blade to it. And then you've got a short, similar this type deal. That's the one I use mostly for the spoons that I've done so far. And then you've got this blade here. So you can see it's got the brass bolsters. I mean, it's a nice little knife. Ain't too big, not too small. Alright, now this part, I'm going to try to show you the different blades that we're using. I'm just going to kind of rough out a spoon and show you how I'd go about this. And we'll see what happens. Got a pretty little squirrel. Just gotta have a happy little friend. Put that right there. Gotta have a little happy little lines. Anybody ever watch Bob Ross? Bob Ross was the man. Alright, so this ain't, big, this ain't functional, whatever, but this is just so for the benefit of the video for me to show y'all what's up. So, first thing I started out with whenever I made my other one, I just started out with the little U-shaped circle gouge, whatever you want to call it. Where I'm left-handed, I've got to do everything backwards from you all, but I just kind of work my way in and then flip it around. And then I can kind of work my way back a little bit, a little step at a time. I hope y'all can see that. Give me a second, I'll clean it up and you can see actually what I'm doing here. Can you see that? Can you see how that's working? And then you can just keep going and take it however deep or however wide. The thing I liked about this is I've got one of the more hook knobs, and the thing about it is it's so big that you can't do, I mean, you can do some really fine cuts, but nothing like you can with this one. This one I can just kind of kick around a couple of ways and, you know what I mean, knock out a bowl in no time. But I'm going to get this cut down deeper, and then we'll switch around and show you what we got from there. Alright, now I'm going to get this edge up here, all this extra work off, so I'm just going to use the regular detail blade. I mean, I guess you could use a saw if you wanted to or whatnot, but whatever, it doesn't matter. However you want to do it. I know this may be hard to keep in camera for you all, but I'm trying to not make a 80-minute video also. But y'all can see how good this little blade cuts. You can do little fine cuts if you want to. You know, good little control. That's why I like his detail blade so much, is it works really well. I don't know what the angle is. I'm going to have to find out though, because it works perfect for what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and knock this out and try to rough this out a little bit just to save you all some time, and then I'll be right back. Now for these areas right here, usually what I do, you can see I'm trying to knock this big chunk out. When you're going the right way against the grain with the wood, I guess you would say, you can knock out big chunks, like really big chunks. If you turn around and go the other direction, it's not so, you know, it's not so drastic, but you can see what kind of chunks I'm knocking out with this thing. I mean, again, that's the wood I'm using also, though, the cedar. But once you get this, then all you gotta do is just basically, you know, get your finished shape. Finished shape, and once I've got that, I'm gonna knock out this little edge here, and then just cut it down. Alright, so I kind of blew out the side of my spoon in a rush trying to do this video and everything, so I'm going to show y'all basically, you know, I mean, like I said, I got this one to show that I did 2 nights ago. That was what I actually took my time and done, but that took 3 hours. So far this has been like half an hour, and I'm just really tearing it all to hell. One of the problems I have, like I said, I'm left-handed. This blade is definitely made for a right-hander to do push cuts like this. Well, where I'm left-handed, I have to do pull cuts to make the blade even work. But once you get the blade cut down to the size of the blade, you know, your wood, it'll just make a perfect half moon or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you can see this edge right here. Is that visible? Mm-hmm. This round edge, same as the blade. So that's what that one does. And then the only blade that I really didn't use a lot, I just don't see the need for it. Y'all can leave a message in the comments or something below, is that the V edge, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I just don't see what I would need to use the V to make anything of. I just don't see a purpose in that one. These straight ones come in handy if you're trying to do stuff like this little scorp right here. If you're trying to get that, the blades don't lock either. So if I was right-handed, it would be over here, and this would be a lot more controlled. Where I'm left-handed, I've got to do it awkwardly. Give me a second, we'll get rid of this vehicle running. See this, the long one, I mean, I guess it does the same, but it just, I don't know, something about it. It just don't work as well for me as the one that's angled, the circular one that's rounded. So, I mean, trying to do that little bit right there, I can do that twice as easy with this round one here. And a lot more controlled. So really the blades I think you're mostly going to be using is this one here and the detail blade. Really I think they could have just made a knife that had those two particular blades that locked and saved, you know, that's pretty much what the tool needed. But for $20, all in all, I think it's something that everybody could throw in their pack and, you know, sit around and get a little wood tom whittling and such, you know, with. Alright guys, so I know I butchered, I guess that would be my third attempt at a wooden spoon, but I've got one good one. Yeah, I know, but I'm going to keep falling back to this one because it's pretty. Hell with you all on what my third one happened with it. It's okay, that's what we do with it. It's in the floor now. So, on the knife, I mean, so far I ain't had no problems with it except for with the long blades, the long, like the chisel and the, whatever the long round scorp or whatever you want to call it would be. They don't lock, and so when you're trying to press, they flip up. You know, I mean, I could see some potential injuries there. They need to lock, those two. Or maybe it's just where I'm left-handed and I'm doing it wrong, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with the hook blade. It's not sharpened on both sides, so there's really, you can do a lot more controlled push cuts than you can with your pull cuts. I'm having to use everything in reverse with the knife, so I don't even know if I'm the most, if I'm the person that should really be doing the video because I'm not right-handed. Maybe they'll make a left-handed version, I doubt it. But I do think that it's a good knife all in all as far as something to throw in your pack. Like I said, when you're sitting around the campfire, sit around and whittle, or when you ain't got no time for the money and the weight. I mean, it's less than half an ounce or something like that, half a pound, I can't remember the weight. But I think it's a really good blade for the price, and I think that it's very functional as far as the two blades I showed that you'll be using. The detail blade really works, and the little angled scorp, whatever you want to call it, that little blade right there, the way it's angled, it works really well because anytime you're digging into the wood, you're pushing it back the way it won't lock anyway, or the way it's not going to close. So, that's pretty much all I can say about it. Again, guys, I'm Bo Spurlock with Hellhound Outdoors. I'll be back. I've got a couple more videos, man. It's just been hectic with things going on around here. The weather, I moved. I'm a little farther away from the woods and stuff where I live here, so it's a little harder for me to get out there. I do have a video I'm doing tomorrow, God, you know, willing, as long as the weather holds up, on the Safari Series AquaQuest tarp. And if you got any comments about something that you see that I may have misspoke on, it's because I don't know all the terminology, but just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again as soon as possible.